Hello, I'm Dr. Gloria Horsley, president of the Open to Hope Foundation, and I'm at the Compassionate Friends National Conference, and I'm here with Mark Alyssa's dad. Now, I know your daughter died 8 years ago, and I know that you have been involved with drug and alcohol addiction programs and that kind of thing, and we have so many people whose kids have been addicted or died of addiction, and they come to our chapter meetings, and it's really a devastating thing, and it seems like there is a certain amount of shame and anger around that.
Exactly. Yeah. In fact, the last 2 years I spoke at the pre-conference for to parents who've lost children to addiction, and it's a big thing. You know, the thing about parents who lose their children by addiction, it's almost like a drawn-out death. They've had to watch their child over and over again get sick and sick and sick, and then finally die. One of the things I talked to them about is some of the neurotransmitters and the brain changes that has caused their child to make these choices that they can't really get out of. They get stuck in this rut, and we need to get them away from their drug of choice and help them with either medications, and especially with exercise, recreation, and group therapy to try and reset their brain neurotransmitters, because there's actual reasons why they make bad choices and why they continue to go back. It has to do with survival. Once they start using drugs, the drug becomes number one in their survival, above feeding and fighting and reproducing and all those things, and it takes time to reset that. And so that's why you see a 100-pound young woman will go to the scary part of town to get their drug, because in their mind it's more dangerous not to have their drug than it is to go to the scary part of town. So that's some of the things I talk to them about. They get to the point where they're using their drug as a coping mechanism. Also, oftentimes people may start out using a drug because it's fun, gives them pleasure, but then pretty soon the fun goes to fun with problems, and then pretty soon it's just problems. And what happens is, once they're caught in this rut of drug addiction, they're using it as much just to avoid pain as they are anything else. And like you say, they lose their self-confidence, they lose their hope, they feel helpless, hopeless, desperate, and as you're right, you have to sort of somehow get them away from it and get them to a point where they realize who they are, that there is some hope, and that they're a good person, and there's a reason to live without drugs. Yeah. Try and explain to them what they went through and what the disease of addiction does and how it changes their child. And that in some cases, they may have done everything they could, and it just wasn't never enough. And unfortunately, some people can get the treatment and get out of their addiction before they die, but unfortunately some, die before they can get to that point. And try and explain to them that, their children really didn't, want to die necessarily, deep down, and maybe in their drug addiction they may get to that point because they're so desperate, but that the parents try, their best. It's amazing how many people go into rehab who have been abused somehow, and they've gone through some kind of traumas. And one of the things I talk here at Compassionate Friends is that there's not only gateway drugs, but there's also gateway experiences, such as if you lose a child, then I could talk about coping mechanisms dealing with that. And a gateway experience could be abuse as a younger child, it could be injuries, it could be any number of things they've gone through. So not only genetics, but also their environment and things they've gone through.
So how about counseling? Would you suggest that, family or individual, or what's your thought?
Absolutely, counseling's great, and there's individual counseling they need to do, but also group therapy. Again, this is a disease. We can actually document it on brain scans. We can document. We now know that it deals with the pleasure and reward system, the limbic system. It also deals, the interaction between the limbic system and the other parts of the brain, even survival part of the brain, and there are some documented neurotransmitters effects. So this is not a moral issue.
Well, hey, thank you for being on this YouTube today and for all that great information.
Well, thank you. I always like to see you.
And thanks for watching this YouTube. I'm Dr. Gloria Horsley, and I want to remind you, if you've lost hope, please lean on ours till you find your own.